probe count is rapidly increasing for Reign Kiwikaki. And again, 4 Zealots march directly into Kiwikaki's base.
I love this play from Huk. He still has not had this pylon scouted that he used in the beginning of the game, and with that he was able to warp in some Zealots, which are going to do quite a bit of damage here. Kiwikaki actually leaving with the 3 Zealots, still doing some damage and blinking back in now to go ahead and clean that up. He will not lose. He's going to lose 1 probe, possibly a second. Kiwi!
Oh.
Okay, he'll win that fight, but at the same time we see Huk moving out in the center with these 3 Colossus. He should be able to do a ton of damage here.
Kiwikaki getting caught out of position. There's the Dark Shrine planting. He wants to get into a good spot. Kiwikaki again looks like he's going to get cornered. It's a little hard to get at the correct angle, and we see an Immortal and some Zealots making their way in towards the natural. Kiwikaki just trying to draw these forces away. He loses focus on the Stalkers and on the run yet again, and we see the Immortal Zealot composition dealing some nice damage here, but the up and down high grounds just ripping everything apart. How brutal. Kiwikaki now running very low on options. Within the unit counting station, we see only 1 observer out for Huk. If Kiwikaki can spot that, he will be in golden shape.
The Dark Shrine is about halfway complete, but man, Huk just has such a huge army here. As we see, Kiwikaki has been trying to keep them on their toes the entire time, but Huk is not having this anymore. He's going to go straight for the main base with a handful of Stalkers, using the Colossus to scout out the rest of this army. And these Stalkers are going to do so much damage in the main base of Kiwikaki. Because there are no units whatsoever to deal with these. He's going to be able to take out so many probes.
Oh, but I mean, Kiwikaki very clearly just looking for that observer to try to pick off. He does have DT tech finished at this point in time. Where is the observer for Huk?
Sean.
Oh no, Liquid Huk has no gas, and there's the target fire on it. He's doing everything he can to try to take this out, and it looks like he gets it. And now we see Huk immediately responding by building yet another robotics facility. Where are the Dark Templar being produced? It looks like none yet are popping out. Oh, more gateways planting for Kiwikaki, but like you said, no gas at all.
Only has 1 assimilator at his natural. Still has not gotten that second one just yet. A huge amount of gateways being added on. It looks like these Stalkers are going to be able to kill quite a bit of tech in the main base of Kiwikaki at the same time. Huk has taken out all of the forces here. There's 1 lone DT right at the natural on the other side of these Colossus, and I'm pretty sure there is an observer somewhere in this general area so that DT cannot actually commit to attacking. And this is quite a weird game right now as Kiwikaki is going back to try to save his main base, but the Stalkers of Huk seem just too much. Here come the Zealots, but with the Link, he should be able to save this and make sure that those Stalkers remain on their toes, and he does it. He saves his main base, but at the cost of a Nexus and a ton of probes.
I just cannot believe that Kiwikaki is starting to slip behind. You know, the Blink Stalker counterattack focused play from Kiwikaki, a very solid style, especially against the sort of robo play. But on this map, there are so many cliffs that you have to have vision up on high and low ground to be able to blink around properly on a map like Metalopolis or Shattered Temple. It's much easier to do this sort of movement manipulation, but on Backwater Gulch, Huk's decision to get the Colossus, absolutely brilliant.
See a couple of DTs here. Looks like only 1, but uh-oh, those Colossus are still alive, as well as that observer. And now Kiwikaki might just lead him to a secret laboratory, aka this base over here in the top right-hand corner. Another Nexus being put down, about halfway complete. Looks like Huk will be finding this base out in just a matter of seconds.
Oh, is the observer with that force. There it is, trailing at the backside. Kiwikaki gonna make a stand. Has to get those Colossi picked off or his Zealots will just completely collapse. 1 Colossus looks like it's taking a lot of damage, but the Zealots at the front are getting cleaned up. Kiwikaki will be unable to close this off, and there's the good game. Huk winning a comeback game in PvP. Game 1 so fast. Games 2 and 3 stunning. And now we get to see the matchup that everyone's been waiting for all tournament long.
It's going to be Huk versus EG Idra. I can hear in my ears right now the cheers,
the roar of the crowd.
We see Kiwikaki right there. He's going to go ahead and give a good old handshake.
I mean, some clear disappointment from Kiwikaki, but my God, he played brilliantly in those games. You almost never see PvPs last that long, but Kiwikaki forcing the game always to go later and later where he can have more control, make more decisions that will allow him to get ahead, but that counterattack with the Zealots from Huk came at just the right time. Kiwikaki forced to pull back to defend, and Huk crunched those Stalkers once they were back home.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you'll see Protoss players forget that they will have a forward pylon somewhere on the map and focus purely at their ramp or wherever the incoming attack is at. Huk never forgets, never surrenders, sends in those Zealots and just took out a ton of units. And it really, I mean, it ultimately won him the game there.
Yeah, I mean, Huk, I think, did something that we rarely ever see in Protoss versus Protoss, getting the Colossus so fast, getting the Expand so fast. But it's weird to live in that fragile realm where you're always staying in PvP, where you always are a little tenuous taking expansions. But it's a clever decision by Huk to say, I'm going to get Colossus fast, and I'm going to get my Expand fast, because I obviously want 2 bases, but because the Colossus is so good on this map. But if I see an attack incoming, I'm more than willing to cancel the Nexus, so that way I can just get a whole bunch of Zealots with that extra money, get the extra Colossus with that extra money, and be comfortable. The only thing that would really crush that is a big 4-gate push, but we clearly saw that that was not incoming. I mean, Huk saw the Observer with his Observer at the start of the game. So, I mean, just brilliant, brilliant read by Huk.
Great play. Huk's going to be going on to play EG Idra. Let's go ahead and take a look at the brackets real quick, Sean. We have in the winner bracket final, starting off, it's going to be Select Chef, but that is going to, of course, going to become after EG Idra versus Liquid Huk. The winner will be going on to the lower bracket final. This is a huge, huge match for both players. Idra and Huk have battled so many times before. And this one is going to have a ton of money on the line, a ton of prestige on the line. Make sure you go tell all of your StarCraft 2 nerd friends to watch this game, because it's going to be super, super important. Tell us about it on Twitter. I am ItMeJP.
I'm Day9TV. Use the hashtag #SC2BI, so that way we can see your conversations and involve you too. I'm just absolutely blown away that Idra and Huk are meeting in the lower bracket spot, in 3rd, 4th place right now. Those are the 2 players that everyone thought would be the 2 to advance. Maybe someone else would be able to edge one of them back down into 3rd, but now we see that one of these players, e.g. Idra or Liquid Huk, will be eliminated, and the winner is still not even yet guaranteed a spot to go to BlizzCon.
Nope. But when we come back, guys, we'll be back at 11:55 for that all-important game. Go tell everyone it's going to be a match for the ages. I am JP.
I'm Day9. Don't go anywhere, because the big match Idra vs. Huk is coming up right after this.